How's it, grade 9? So I'm going through the homework for 12.6, number 3 and 4. So starting with question 3. Question A is saying calculate the length TS. Okay. And what they've given us here is they've given us this big triangle with a little triangle inside with all the relevant information. So we want to find this TS side. So if I ignore this big triangle over here and just look at this little TRS triangle, we have this side is 6, we have this side is 8. We also know that this is 90 degrees, so I can use Pythag to find out the side TS. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say in triangle TRS, we know that TS squared will be equal to TR squared plus RS squared. And my reason for this is Pythag. Okay, let's just fill in our relevant information. So we get TS squared is equal to TR is 6, RS is 8. Okay, so I'm going to miss a few steps here, grade 9s, by doing 6 squared plus 8 squared. Okay, do it all at one time. And we get 100. So we get TS squared is equal to 100. Now remember, to get the TS on its own, you must take the square root. So I'm going to take the square root of that. And we get TS is equal to 10. Okay, so we've got the first question. Now, question B is asking us to prove that triangle PQS similar to triangle TRS. Okay, so we have to state in triangle, and I'm just going to state it the way that they've given us, PQS and triangle TRS. Remember, for similarity, we need 3 things. 1, 2, 3. So the first thing I can see here is that angle Q is equal to angle R. They're both 90. So P or Q lies in this triangle over here. So angle Q equals angle R, and angle R is in this triangle. And I can say here both equal 90 degrees. Okay, that's our first thing. Then the next thing I can say is that angle S equals angle S, because we're dealing with this big triangle and this little triangle, and it's a common angle. So angle S equals angle S, and my reason is here is common. Okay, so let's just have a look. We've got 2 pairs of angles that are equal now. So we've got Q and we've got S. We're just missing this angle P. So P must be equal to, we've got R, we've got S, we're just missing T. All right. And what I can say here is third angle of triangle. Okay. Now, this is a perfect example. It doesn't make a difference how I call the triangles over here. What is important is how I've proved them. Okay. So over here, therefore, and I read it down here, grade 9s, QSP. So triangle QSP similar to triangle, and read it down here, RST. And my reason for this is angle, angle, angle. All 3 of those were angles. And as you can see here, I've got PQS, but here I've got QSP. So it doesn't make a difference how you call them here. Again, it's how you prove them over here. All right, so going on to the next one, they're saying determine the lengths. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to write it on the other side of the page. But you remember how we do this? I'm just going to rewrite this over here. From the previous one that we had triangle QSP similar to triangle RST. Okay, so that's what we proved before. Now, remember how this works? We use our little hops. So our first hop is going to be QS over RS. QS over RS will be equal to SP over ST, which will be equal to, in our third hop, will be QP RT. Okay, my reason for this is equiangular triangles. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in my little values here that they've given us. So QS, now if I go back to this drawing over here, okay, QS is this entire length over here. Now we know that this is 8. What is this length QR? I don't know, so I'm going to call it X. So QS will be X plus 8, okay? So that's this QS, so we've got X plus 8 over, let's have a look what RS is. RS is 8, so that's over 8, equals SP. SP is this entire length over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave that. I just want to see. We know what TS is. TS is 10. So I'm going to call that one 10. And I'm going to call this PT one Y. Okay. So that means that PS is Y plus 10. So PS or SP, it's the same thing. SP, PS is Y plus 10 over ST. ST we know is 10 equals QP. QP we know is 12 over RT. RT is 6. Okay, so just like from the previous examples, I'm going to look for the fraction that has both numerator, denominator, top and bottom. And it's this one over here. And as you can see, these other ones are the ones with the missing values. And I'm going to set this one equal to that, this one equal to that. Find our X and our Y. Okay, so the first one I'm going to do is this one over here. X plus 8 over 8 will be equal to 12 over 6. And the other one I'm going to do is this Y plus 10 over 10 equals 12 over 6. Okay, so let's work with this one here. I'm going to multiply up by 8. So we get X plus 8 equals 12 over 6 multiplied by 8. I can put that on the calculator now. So we get 12 over 6 multiplied by 8, and we get 16. So X plus 8 equals 16. I take the 8 to the other side and it becomes a minus. So we get 16 minus 8 is 8. So we know what X is. I'm going to do the same here. Multiply up by the 10. So we get Y plus 10 equals 12 over 6 multiplied by 10. Do that on the calculator. So 12 over 6 multiplied by 10. And we get 20. Take the 10 to the other side, it becomes a minus, so we get 20 minus 10, so we get Y is equal to 10. Okay, so let's have a look at question C1 now. They are asking for the value QS. Sorry, this is an S. QS equals. So let's have a look at what QS is. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill in my values for my X and my Y. So X was, we worked out to be 8, and Y we worked out to be 10. So QS is this entire length here. So it's 8 plus 8 is 16. So QS is equal to 16. Then number 2, we are looking at QR. So QR, if we go back to our drawing, QR is this, and it's 8. And then the last one they're asking for PS. So PS is this entire length here. So it's 10 plus 10, which is 20. And there you have it, great minds, not too bad. Okay, going on to question 4 now. They've given us that diagram there. And they've said, given this angle S1 is equal to angle R. And I've noted that with the little dot and the little circle thing like that. Okay, so that angle is equal to that. The first question A, they're asking us to prove that triangle PQR similar to triangle PTS. So this big triangle, this little triangle similar. So I'm just going to write that out how they've given us. So in triangle PQR and triangle PTS, remember for similarity we need 3 things. So let's have a look. First thing I'm going to say is I'm going to say angle R is equal to angle S. R is in this triangle, S is in this triangle. So angle R equals angle S. Why is that? That was given to us. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say that angle P is equal to angle P because P lies in both the triangles, so it's common. So angle P equals angle P common. Okay. Now let's have a look here. We've got R, we've got P, we're missing Q. So angle Q must be equal to, we have S, we have P, SP, we're missing T. So Q must be equal to T. Why? Third angle of triangle. All right, so therefore, read it down from here, grade 9s. So therefore, triangle RPQ. Similar, triangle SPT. What is our reason? Angle, angle, angle. Okay. Then question B. They're asking us to calculate the values of X and Y. Now, in order to do that, I want to get my little fractions coming out. So we need to do our little hop things. So our first hop, RP over SP over SP must be equal to PQ over PT. PQ over PT equals, and our last hop, RQST. And my reason for this, equiangular triangles. Okay. Now I'm just going to fill in my values for these things, reading off our diagram here. So RP, if we look for RP, so that's in that entire length, so it's X plus 4 over SP. SP is 3 equals PQ. PQ is this entire length over here, so it's 3 plus 5, which is 8 over PT. PT, which is 4, equals RQ, which is this length over here, which is 10, over ST, which is that length over there, which is Y. Okay. Again, grade 9s, you're going to look for the fraction that has both top and bottom. So it's this one over here. And I'm going to set the other 2 that I haven't ringed in red equal to that one. So our first one is going to be this. X plus 4 over 3 equals 8 over 4. The other one will be these 2 here. So 8 over 4 equals 10 over Y. Okay, let's solve for this one over here. I'm going to multiply up by 3, and we get X plus 4 equals 8 over 4 multiplied by 3. Put that on our calculator. 8 over 4 multiplied by 3, and we get 6. So X plus 4 equals 6. I take the 4 to the other side, it becomes a minus. So 6 minus 4 is equal to 2. So we got the value for X. This one over here, okay, I just want you to pay attention with this one, grade 9s, because it's different, but we have gone through examples like this. I'm going to multiply up by the y first. So we get 8 over 4 multiplied by y equals 10. Then I'm going to divide by the 8 over 4 on the other side. So we get y is equal to 10 divided by 8 over 4. Now remember, when you're dividing by fraction, you tip in times. So you get y is equal to 10 multiplied by 4 over 8. Okay, put this on our calculator. 10 times 4 over 8. And we get y is equal to, I'm just going to put the answer on the side here, y is equal to 5. All right, and that's it, grade 9s. Thank you.